Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming. So, wanted to talk about a couple of things gaming related. On the one hand, we have Steam Families, a new sharing service from Steam to play and share games with your family members, and of course, the PlayStation 5 Pro reveal. So, first, let's talk about the Steam Family. So, this is basically going to replace all the existing sharing features and things like that. So, what Steam wants to do here is you can set up a family, and this is meant to be for people of the same household, family members, and up to 5 more people can join, so total 6 people, and you can assign adults and children, etc. Next thing is all the games in your library that have the family sharing feature will become available to the rest of the family who are connected to this Steam family, and their games will also become available to others. Now, who decides if a game is in the family sharing? That is up to the game developer. So if the game is in the family sharing thing, then people can play. If they decide not to do that, then they'll also need to buy a copy. Now, can two people play at the same time? No. Answer is again no. Let's say I have a game in my library and my brother connects and he wants to play that. He doesn't have that game. If I'm playing it, he can't. He'll have to wait his turn or buy a game. So yeah, there are minor limitations, but I think it works very well overall. Now, children can also connect and you can have some parental controls. They can, you can restrict how much they play, which games they play, things like that. Now, there is this thing here where they say child request, so they can request an adult in the group to buy a game for them, and they give probably the worst example here. Helldivers 2 is an 18 plus game, so this is probably getting declined. But yeah, kids can request this. I don't know if this is just a bad example or this game shouldn't be in the thing, in my opinion. Like, for example, if a child is looking at um, Helldivers 2 from their account, this option shouldn't be there that they can request a copy. Because let's say a kid requests, like my nephew here, he's 6 years old, he's in the house. Let's say he requests this from me and I decline it because it's inappropriate. Then he goes and requests it from my brother, and my brother probably doesn't know and he approves it. What will happen then? So I don't know if this was just a bad example or it needs more explaining, but yeah, that is my question. Can they request anything? Because some games should be hidden by default based on their age. I suppose that is how it works, but yeah, we'll have to set it up and see. Now, in my family, I don't think anybody plays games because while they do use mobiles and play games on mobiles, I doubt anybody would sit down on a PC or a laptop to play games, or even a console for that matter. So in that case, I think a Steam Deck, let's say if I've got a Steam Deck, I'm pretty sure rest of my family would be okay and they may give it a try and try out some games. So this should probably help the Steam Deck as well. Now, you can leave the Steam family, but since this is supposed to be like your real family or something, you cannot join another family for a year. So, understandable, but I suppose let's say I'm at home here with my brother, my father, mother, etc. And then I get married and I move out and I want to leave this family and then add my wife and make a separate family. It'll take a year in between, so that seems a little harsh. Of course, this doesn't happen all the time, so makes sense because people could simply join other families where people have a lot of games. Like, for example, my next door neighbor, he might have a lot of games. If I connect with his family, maybe we can share hundreds of games. So they are probably going to keep something like this in mind where they don't want people to save too much by sharing games, but they do want to give this an option. So yeah, again, I suppose it'll depend on the games itself. I'm pretty sure new games, big AAA games, would probably not have this option from launch. They'll probably add it later. But yeah, interesting nonetheless, especially if there's at least one family member who has a lot of games. Like for me, I have hundreds of games. So if my family got interested in gaming and they all set up their accounts, even if they have a few games here and there, they could play the games from my thing. So yeah, interesting move in my opinion, and I think this should help save quite a bit on gaming. Now, a couple of examples here. Helldivers. So it says here Helldivers has family sharing, which is pretty good, and it's also an 18 plus game, like I said. So yeah, kids shouldn't be playing this. And then another game here is Satisfactory. So yeah, this is more family friendly, I suppose, more wholesome. Family sharing is available, and I don't see an 18 plus rating. So yeah, all good. Now I wish they would also put the Steam Deck verification somewhere on the store page as well, because that would be a handy feature, I think, to go along with this. I don't know if they do that already, because I've never noticed it, at least. Or maybe if there is a plugin that covers this, because Steam does have the thing where you can check your library for the games that are deck compatible, deck playable, deck verified, things like that. So that is good, but I wish they would put it here as well on the store page, so that when I'm thinking about buying a game and I have a Steam Deck, I could consider that as an option. Anyway, moving on to the next story, which is the PlayStation 5 Pro. So this was revealed, bit of backlash at least on social media. It's hard to judge truly like how bad or good it is, but generally it is considered too expensive. Doesn't seem to have that much of an improvement in terms of graphics. And yeah, this is just sadly the state of the gaming industry right now, at least the mainstream AAA stuff. And this is the result. Like, I'm not really surprised by the 700 price. So $700, 700 pounds. So yeah, no change there. 800 euros. So they are getting even worse. And I don't know the exact conversion, but it's 120,000 yen. It does have a 2 terabyte SSD. So that is an improvement, I suppose. But yeah, a bigger hard drive, more stripes, I think, around across this here. And yeah, the stand is sold separately, because I do remember a little reading a tweet or something. So yeah, is it necessary? I suppose for the hardcore fans, I guess they might get it, or places where you can trade in your standard PlayStation and get the Pro version. Again, it's only for people who want the latest, greatest things. But as a requirement, I don't really know. I don't know if it'll even benefit. It says here there's some games, but there are not a lot of games here, at least not exclusives. Other games are already available, I suppose. So yeah, it'll depend on like a hardcore PlayStation. Somebody who only plays on PlayStation, I suppose, they may find this more useful. But if you are already playing with other, platforms, then probably not needed. Yeah, but it is a strange time right now, at least as far as mainstream gaming is concerned, Western gaming, let's say. And yeah, consoles have become very expensive, games have become very expensive. We are getting less and less. Even paid games have microtransactions these days. Um, Games are $70. And also, like, the biggest drawback with this, which was, I think, in my opinion, the worst thing, the lack of a disk drive. Now, they do sell a disk drive separately, but yeah, there is a separate disk drive, which I don't know, it's like 150 or something on its own. But yeah, this is the biggest thing for me. Like, for me, I'm mostly a PC gamer, but I do like consoles, and I collect for PS3. I still have my PlayStation 3. I have like 50, 55 physical games. And yeah, the fun and the charm of having a physical disc, that is like the whole appeal for consoles for me, because if this is all digital, then I can just do that on PC. I can do that on Steam. Prices are cheaper on Steam. We get free games from Epic. We get bundles from Humble. So for me, removing the disc from a console defeats the whole purpose, because you want consoles for the physical games, to preserve games, to have them on your library. That is for me a huge part of the appeal of consoles. Yeah, sure, sitting on the couch and playing, that is the main sort of use case, but still, the physical discs on your shelf sitting there, that's a huge appeal. And making it all digital, I don't know, man. I'm not really seeing the point. Like, sure, PlayStation fans, and they may disagree and they may want to still get it, but without the disc, I don't see much point. Like, I have not felt the need to get a console after PlayStation 3. And yeah, because they are going all digital on console as well. Like, on PC, I can sort of understand, but on console, my theory is like, if I was to collect for a console, which I do for PlayStation 3, I want like some of the best games from that generation in physical form, something that I can play again or something I can introduce to other people who can try it out. And even if not, I just want to look at them in the shelf and feel good about it. So yeah, that is like my biggest thing. If you have to pay more to get a digital version, yeah, like I said, just has a few more stripes. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think as well. It is a strange time to be a sort of mainstream gamer right now.